Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Time for another game here. Team Spirit versus Double Dimension. Should be a bit of an interesting one because then this is one of these games that might also decide one of the top contenders here. Team Spirit sitting at 2-1 already in the groups so far, and Double Dimension, they have one more game under the belt. They're sitting at 2-2, so this game comparatively a little bit more important for them to try and secure themselves one of the top 4 slots that makes them go in towards the playoffs. So, Team Spirit starting off with the Axe Warlock, and this is basically the meta right now. Axe is very strong, Warlock is very strong, and also a bit of a counter to Axe just with lane sustain it gives you, so snagging both of these up, it's gotta be a bit of a win. But Double Dimension, they get themselves a Naga Siren together with the Oracle. Ryuu, what are your thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts.
Oh, god damn it. Why did I bring you on here? Just window dressing or like, hey, yeah, guys, I got Ryuu.
I'm just here.
Got discount Matt Damon. Like, that only works if I got a freaking picture of you plastered on the screen somewhere.
You're my stunt double. This is how the things work. You're my stunt double, and I'm just here to look good. You're here to make me look good, alright?
Of course.
You understand how this relationship works now?
I get it. You're only using me to get ahead in the casting scene.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I use everybody. I mean, I use physically and mentally, whatever you want to take that.
5 seconds remaining.
But to answer your questions, I think both openings are pretty good. Naga's nice to have. Normally, you would want to pair it with Jakiro. Surprised they went for the Oracle though. Maybe they have some kind of strategy with it. Huskar, a good ban. Also, they should ban DP here. It's almost impossible to kill a DP when you have Oracle ulti on top of her.
Oh yeah.
All the heals. It's crazy. So another hero that you should always think about and probably should ban right now.
Well, must be thinking about it. I mean, they're all pretty smart players. I mean, the Huskar was a bit of a no-brainer. Like, you don't want to get cheesed like that in the best of ones, so taking that one out immediately. But if Double Dimension, if they pick the Oracle in the first phase like that, they also knew that there's no way that Huskar makes it through the second banning phase. So yeah, they must have some sort of plan with that, as you mentioned. And maybe also something that can help, or that can make use of that Naga Siren song setup. Otherwise you just end up with two heroes that basically just provide a lot of defensive utility, but not a lot of lot of ways to play aggressively, and yeah, they finally settled on that DP that you mentioned. One thing I want to note though with the Oracle and the Axe, if Oracle...
See, I can be a coach. Why don't I be a coach? Why am I casting?
No, right?
That is interesting. Picking Lesh into Oracle. Lesh is good versus Naga though, to clear out all the illusions and stuff, and good to split push, good pressure in lanes. Can be a support, so it could be the 4 position here. Doesn't show too much. They can always switch it later to the mid or even safe lane. And Sand King is still in the pool too.
Remaining.
Good dual combo.
Oh yeah, I'd like that.
5 seconds remaining.
Back to my point. Like, if Oracle uses the ultimate too late, and if that target's already under the X threshold, X can still use Culling Bait. That's something that you have to keep in mind. And
what if you nope, there's no way around it.
What?
I was trying to think if there was a way around it, but there isn't.
Guess Lincoln's here.
With the current lineup.
Yeah, so this
you could get Black Hole.
What?
10
Nothing.
seconds remaining.
That would be sick, like song into Black Hole. I've seen it
5
happen
seconds
before, but
remaining.
it seems like way too slow, especially for the CS region, because like you don't really want to get too many long cooldowns that you
Yeah, Enigma's dead hero unless you have like 3 enemy melee core heroes, and then you can pressure still on the map.
Yeah. Well, for now we have that beast. So how well would Oracle do in like an aggressive dual lane capacity? I mean, I don't really see it happening because that slot is normally taken by the Naga Siren. But it like the reverse would be like he would be up against the Axe +1. Is the Oracle strong enough in the early levels to really make that worthwhile, or are you still gonna
Dire
be pressured
team
way too
pick.
much?
It's good for like purging fatal bonds here.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I can understand why you want it. Could be good for that later on. It is a really strong laner once you do get level 2 and 3 because you can output a crap ton of damage in a short amount of time by using
10 seconds remaining.
you can just use your purifying flames three
5
times or so
seconds
in the span
remaining.
of like 6 seconds, and it does a crap ton of damage as long as you purge it off.
Yep.
So Luna though, Luna's a really good hero here in the sense where good laning against Beastmaster in a sense because you have the Warlock to help you. And the turnaround potential is really nice with the farming speed. So I like Luna here. It shows a bit the hero can be countered, but how are they going to do it?
Radiant team back.
Drow Ranger.
Oh,
What?
Interesting. That is interesting.
Huh, it really is.
I didn't know Naga and Beastmaster were range heroes. I'm okay with that. All right, they might
this
want
is very
Viper now. I guess Lena's pretty good, but
I would
10
think
seconds
the
remaining.
Viper too. Yeah, would make a lot of sense. It's the type you
5
need a
good
type
heroes
hero
and-
that can frontline, that can really just throw all of this weight in that mid game when the Draw Ranger gets like maybe up to level 12 if it goes that far, and then you can group up and click down towers one by one. I don't know. I'm very
Dire team
curious
back.
whether they'll be able to do that without overextending into a Warlock ult or an X Blink Call or whatever. Like, there's a lot of good control and teamfight on the side of Team Spirit to deal with that as the game goes on.
it just depends on how things are going to go now. Because Team Spirit, they get the last pick. They can pick. I was going to say
10
Lycan's the best
seconds
hero against
remaining.
Drow, but it's banned. They can pick Ember Spirit.
5
It's a
seconds
very good hero,
remaining.
but the Purifying Flames is, or the.
Flame
Yeah, I
Guard?
keep forgetting
Yeah.
all the Oracle spells.
Oh, Oracle spells.
Yeah,
Alright. I can do it. Purifying Flames is one. Fate's Edict is the magic community thing.
Fortune's End.
False
Fortune's
Promise
End.
and Fortune's End. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Fortune's End.
It only took me
is
like
very
2 years
strong.
or however long Oracle was in the game to learn all of these spells.
But it's good for purging something I was going to talk about. Dang it.
Yeah.
All right. 20 seconds. Got to be a hero. Got to pick. I'm gonna guess Lena or
Radiant team
Lena.
pick.
Lena.
Nice.
Yeah. I
Good
don't
one.
think. All right. Now, as we saw the Lena, you really don't want to pick Ember as I was talking about because of the Purifying Flames also gets stomped in lane.
Just pick Zeus here.
I don't like. I want a hero that runs at the enemy, but is good
10
versus
seconds
Lena.
remaining.
Dragon Knight.
I don't think that's a good
5
hero.
seconds
Hero just
remaining.
dies.
Yeah. And I feel like anything with like some good magical burst AoE could also work well with what you already have.
You may now select your
Different type of
heroes.
burst, alright. Visage. Making an appearance. Can struggle early against Selena, I would think, but once he's level 6, Visage can start to do a whole lot of nasty things to your opponents.
Yeah, Lena should dominate this, especially with Drower. I'm interested to see how G is going to do it. I think Lena's just going to crush this matchup, but you never know. Grave Troll is super strong early on. Less roaming. Doesn't seem as powerful as the Naga, but he can potentially wrap around on the mid, help the Lena out. Basically, a lot of in the games that we've been seeing,
10
or in the games in
seconds
general,
remaining.
a lot of times from the 3 to 6 minute mark, the mid
5
rotations
seconds
for
remaining.
supports are more common. They try to smoke with 2 supports or do a lot of fancy stuff. They try to get the runes, and then they try to converge on mid lane, get a lot of kills, help their mid snowball more. That's kind of what people are doing nowadays. So you should see how these rotations affect. And then, as we saw last game, Shadow Fiend got out of control. He snowballed, pretty much didn't single-handedly win the game. Him and Lycan were super strong, and they just pushed the towers.
Yeah.
This time, the same thing could happen with the Visage and the Luna. Their pushing power is insane. Same thing can be said about Beastmaster and Drow. So this game could easily end in like 15, 20 minutes.
Just as easy as it could end in 50 minutes? Who knows?
Are you asking for a long game when I just predicted a short game?
I don't know. I mean, it
Are you
could
going
end quickly,
against
but it could
Are you
end
going
quickly.
against me, man?
But could it also end very late if like both teams wrestle with each other all the time?
So you're not rooting for me. I got it. I understand.
And after what you said to me, no, I'm not rooting for you, man.
It's okay. I
Not
wouldn't
happening.
root for me either.
You're too rude to be rooted for. Yeah, here we are. Team Spirit looking to secure their 3rd point, putting them pretty high up on the list of teams here, if you will. Double dimension, same for them. I mean, one more win will also put them at that 3-point mark, which is a very comfortable spot. But more pauses here, with a bit of a pause at the end of the draft. Still have one here, and I do not know why. There we go. Just have to think and look at them angrily, because that's exactly what I was doing. Instant smoky for Team Spirit, just to get them out to the lanes a little bit quicker. And how are these lanes going to look like? Cheshire Cat on the Beastmaster together with the Naga Siren. As far as dual lanes go, like, how would you rate that compared to the Axe?
I think the Axe. Let's see. Axe Slash. I don't think Axe Slash is as strong as the Axe plus Skywrath, but they still have a lot of killing potential. Skywrath just sets up way more. His slow lasts longer, and then the combo is a lot better because Mystic Flare does more damage. So I think that's still the strongest dual lane with Axe, but Flash, like I said, can still cause a lot of damage. Can still land your stun after the call, and they have double slow still potentially with the Battle Hunger and the
30
Lightning.
seconds to
Yep.
battle.
If he use the spells correctly, I mean, it's still gonna be a lot of harassment, right? Just the constant spam, especially the Battle Hunger. It can start stacking up. That's one of the reasons why we see it picked up in the first level, and also just skipping call entirely sometimes, just getting these extra points in. Let's see what they decide now is and score. Gonna get both of these runes down
The
bottom.
battle
Is
begins.
King chasing them all the way back up to the high ground. We're forcing out a bit of a lane rotation here. We do see the Axe sitting down towards the bottom lane now, so trying to tank this aggressive lane, but this aggressive move forward, King will have scouted that out. Let's see what they decide to do in return, and yeah, they're bringing Kuman down bottom.
And they have to kind of sacrifice somebody. They're going to have to sacrifice his Beastmaster. Beastmaster does not like being sacrificed like this. He would have probably been sacrificed either way, so... But Axe, he can just level up his Battle Hunger and run away too. So this is not too bad.
At the very least, Naga, not the Naga, is soaking up some of that experience that Ryuu range is missing. Joining in now. Spiver rejoins his laning friend here to try and make this a little bit more even. FNG, he'll be glued to the Luna for the most part. Just throwing out Shadow Words, heals as necessary. There's certainly no lane that Cheshire Cat really likes up there. Especially not with the Oracle sitting around. I feel like there's very limited potential until that hero gets a few levels to work with. Guess we can right click with Overvenom and draw Aura, so hey.
I was watching the mid lane. I like watching mid lanes a lot more nowadays because it's more skill dependent than previous, I don't know, before 2 months ago. Everything was just like not fun. Too many dual lanes in the mid.
We had a bit of a throwback to that in the last game with these dual lanes. Both Slayer and No Fear sitting around on the Bounty and the Windrunner. Quite a while, but yeah. So, you expect Alina to win this one, right? Pre-level 6?
Yeah, I mean, you can see it, 8 for 2 right now. It's you stack up your fiery soul. You can last hit the range creeps with your dragon slave, whereas the other side, you don't have that guaranteed of getting that last hit on the range creep. Meanwhile, top lane, they're gonna go on top of Luna here. My boy Illidan struggling.
Damage being done, but also healed up by not just the Shadow Word, but also Vanscore here, Purifying Flames, unable to actually pull them over the edge. He'll be just fine. Down bottom, Kuman, I can't necessarily say the same about him. All the spam, and it's not all too easy to get last hits early on Drow Ranger. There's this very awkward attack animation, so Battle Hunger might last a little bit longer than you want. And slowly but surely, you're gonna run out of region here.
Yeah, I was looking at the region for every lane, and it seems like DD are losing out on most of the region department and most of the lanes, but still, both supports same time pulling, neck and neck here. Everything's the same, everything's mirrored.
Maybe not mid. He took a lot of damage. He didn't have a salve at the ready, so he had to play very defensively for a while. And King R, he found himself an Invis Rune. Does have the Ensnare and the Riptide available, so G... not even if G walks forward here, just trying to dive him on the tower, but...
Alright, that was...
not quite going for it.
That was a what play? That was a free kill. Unfortunately, Naga getting very impatient right there. I've never seen somebody so impatient in my life. But still, this harassment in the mid lane. Already used the salve, and now he's back down to under half HP. There's just not much.
Yeah.
There's not much G can really do in this matchup.
One lane though, Kuman. Slow stacking up, they flint split earth, and they get the first blood. Making use of the fact, knowing that, say, King R, he's not here. He's not down bottom right now. You guys can go. Without having to worry about the Naga with cramping your style. And now, speaking of Naga, this time, that Spirit Lit Earth will be dodged. So it should be alright, especially with Kuman coming in. But that being said, that's a lot of damage just from basing right clicks in the Battle Hunger. Ticking away at level 2.
Mangoes for everyone. Well, it's nice having 3 mangoes early on for your strength cores. You just give them to your supports, and normally they'll always get some kills around the 3-4 minute mark, just like you saw after all their harassment.
Mango Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we're at right now. Top lane, Illidan still going strong, 20 last hits. To the 15 of Cheshire Cat. They're gonna add some extra ones here with this pull being intercepted. And guess what? It's about to hit the 5-minute mark, so if they stick around, they can also secure that top bounty rune. At the same time, more reinforcements here for Double Dimension down bottom. So they will secure.
Yeah, when they bring down 3
down
heroes, this is really bad because now they're sharing all this EXP. Although they do secure the runes, but still, the levels, you need your Drow to get a fast level 6 to buff up your allies, but it's not happening when you're bringing over an Oracle too.
Yeah. Here we go, Lashak. Pretty damn not tanky if you can catch him, but looks like he's almost, yeah, he's tanky enough to stand close enough to his tower. Well, DK Phobos just gets the counter kill. This lane turning out to be quite a disaster, and at some point you gotta say, yeah, I mean, just stop, just go to the safe lane. Let X do what he does. Yeah. Drow just not strong enough just yet. What is that, level 5 on the axe already? It's level 3 on Kuman? This is not good.
Radiant are scanning.
Add to that top lane going quite well for Team Spirit. I mean, middle lane, this is, again, as you would expect. Visage kind of losing, but now he's level 6. Let's see if they will out. No medallion or anything just yet, but maybe with a bit of extra help. Ivor. No, he's the one with the Invis Rune.
Dire are scanning.
Pikachu, he is the one who has to be careful, but might have scouted out that movement just with the observer board towards the rune. But now, Fever, he gets it off. Follow up with the drops. 1 and 2. Extra right clicks, extra damage. They get one of the familiars, but well worth it. Piper. Now the killing spree. Oh, that second one though, maybe not so much. There we go, extra.
Not worth it anymore. It's over.
It's King R's boots. Minus 1 BGG.
Dire's
It's all over now.
gonna have to work on his micro skills there a little bit. That's a very big deal. Early on, no birds for another 80 seconds. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Lesh, even though he died, or no, he didn't even die. He rotated
Works so
immediately.
well.
to bottom lane.
Oh, nice little stun there. Pikachu taking the opportunity, mid rotation bottom. Says hello with a big old ultimate to the face. Laguna Blood. Laguna Blade. Laguna Blood? What the fuck? What the hell is wrong
Blood.
with me?
What is blood? Blood.
By the way, they get the kill and look at this big triple stack. But they're also going to take. We were hanging around here for a bit of the CS with Lightning Strike and that experience, but still. That's a huge one to take away from the axe. Double Dimension. They're still making some moves. They're still keeping this game close to their chests. As far as Network Lead is concerned.
And Axe is doing a really nice job. He's also level 6 now, or not Axe, the Beastmaster, so he can rotate at any given time, roar somebody, get some easy kills, or they can always just bring another person to the top lane. Maybe kill the Luna. Pikachu was trying to rotate over, but he figured he might have a ward on them, scouting him out.
It would certainly be enough to finish up the Luna. Just walk up with the roar into Laguna Blade.
Radiant's middle tower.
Well, it's not to
is
be,
under
not
attack.
just yet anyway. G still working on the Tomb of the Dominator, so not a ludicrous timing by any means at the very least. So this is something that you can chalk up for Double Dimension as well. But it's only a matter of time until he gets the items that he wants, especially since middle lane kind of slowed down a little bit in terms of pressure. As Pikachu committing more and more time to helping out this bottom lane here. Kuman thinking quite a few spells, the Purge of the Battle Hunger. Still ready to fight if Team Spirit show themselves, but
Dire's middle tower
they know
is
that
under
something
attack.
is amiss here.
Are you even trying?
Now seeking R. Easily dive the tower, especially with the illusions tanking up some of these shots. Pikachu coming in. It's so hard to dive, even with these illusions tanking up. So yeah,
Warlock
ultimately-
only level 4, so he would have just added some healing.
Yeah.
But now they can maybe pressure, but they're gonna lose. They would have lost their mid tower, so Pikachu had to go back to the mid lane. Meanwhile, this Luna, free farming. It's really surprised they haven't committed one extra hero to the top lane. One roar, and this Luna should die.
Yeah.
But they're kind of scared. The healing powers of Warlock. Well,
Not sure about this one, Beaver. We'll be fine. He'll survive. Pikachu with the Dragon Slave, Laguna Blade, not
Dire's
enough
middle
to actually
tower
finish
is
the
under
kill on the
attack.
Shrike, who just scouted his own out of there.
Structures are fortified.
And this is like the second wasted rotation for Pikachu. I mean, he's picking up Bounty Runes now, filling up the bottle,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
but all of this is time that the Visage can use to even pressure the tower. Look at this tier 1 mid. It's in deny range now, so might just have to do that straight away, but it still feels bad to lose that map control this early.
yeah,
This
it's the
fucking-
problem. Normally, when you rotate, you want to give levels to your supports, but they did it too slow in a sense where he rotated earlier, but no support went mid because one of the supports was part of the smoke gank, and they tried to get the kills bottom, but they should have just left the support mid and soak up EXP.
Dire's
Instead, they
top
lose their
tower
tower
is under
for
attack.
nothing, and they still haven't
Radiant's
utilized the
middle
roar
tower
in
is under
11
attack.
minutes. It's 11 minutes in, and there hasn't been one roar.
Yeah.
I don't think they're utilizing all their resources properly right now for DD.
Team Spirit, at the very least, they'll be happy about that. Illidan continuing to farm up to 72 last hits. Just right up there with the Lina, also very similar net worth as a result.
Dire's middle tower has
And,
fallen.
They didn't deny mid? Free tower?
what? Oh my god. That was sitting at 30 health points. That's 100% to deny, even if you really would like to hold on to it. It's just not feasible. Not up against the Visage at any rate, so yeah, gee, getting more money than you really should have. Well, I have to repair that situation somehow. Cheshire Cat smoked up together with King R. But that might have been scattered out by this Observer Ward up on the high ground. So no one's really in a position where they can be caught out by that. Not familiar. Can't get it. Look at this. Dark Troll Summoner. Setting up for Lina. One stun. Only doesn't have the second one available. The Song of the Siren. King R thought there might be even more heroes running around behind him. And there are now. Warlock is there with level 6. They're gonna try and burst down the Visage. But there's the Golem being dropped. The heals coming out. And Dark Siren with follow-up stun. Eclipse uses. Kuman runs in. Thankfully, the Creeper is also there. So he'll be fine for now, but he cannot walk fast enough away. The roar, the axe illusion! Oh no, Cheshire Cat. He regrets his decision. He tanks a few more right clicks, but don't quite want to dive and pass a tier 2 tower. This blue's mid lane wide open, and it is Team Spirit who are the first to do this crazy push. Very early on, just trying to do as much damage as he can, forcing out glyphs. It's not quite as powerful just yet, because you just use the ultimates, you only have the 1 point up and Lunar Blessing. Already taking, scratching that tier 2 mid.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, space for Axe to get his Blink Dagger. He should have it pretty soon, within the next 2 minutes. If he doesn't die.
Dire's top tower is
And
under
that'll
attack.
be go time. Once they have Axe Blink, and then Warlock ulti up again, they can continue their dominating spree of taking towers, because their team fight will be extremely scary. But the mid lane, are they going to set up?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nope. Gonna have another roar in 10 seconds.
Dire's top tower
I
has
think that's a
fallen.
wake-up call for Double Dimension to say, hey, we gotta really try and actually connect with something right now. So far, Team Spirit, though, they've been pretty damn smart with reading the map. A lot of vision out on the other side of the
Radiant's
map now
bottom
as
tower
well
is
after
under
that
attack.
escapade. 2 wards committed there, but as a result, they know enough to not keep the axe down bottom. They'll give up the tower, keep that roll to the Blink Dagger alive. They're also crushing tier 2 top at the same time.
Radiant's
This is
bottom
not a good
tower
trade for Double
is under
Dimension.
attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Watching DK Phobos farm the jungle, I'm surprised he didn't use his Berserker's Call. Curious of why he didn't do that.
Maybe his battery died, so he can't call anybody.
Dire's top tower has
That's the only
fallen.
answer I have for you.
Radiant's
mean,
bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe he's saving the call for a girlfriend that he has. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he wants to keep the line open. It's also a very real possibility. It's also a real possibility this tier 2 will go down eventually. I mean, Kuman, not the most ideal situation. It's only having that level 1 marksmanship, but that is more than enough to get an uncontested tower kill. So, as a result, we'll have the oldest trade in the book, tier 2 for Roche. Because that is the objective for Team Spirit right now.
Is under attack.
Need to be careful. I do have FNG
And
just
Song.
being the guy there, popping up some wards now. Roshan not falling too quickly here. Song, perfect time from King R actually. Oh no, the Golem being dropped from the outside though, trying to interrupt it here. Can they steal this Aegis before the Song is biased? They cannot. The call! Perfect! Pikachu, he still got it. Not quite as perfect, perhaps. It's a tad bit too late as he does get the last hit and the Aegis. But he has to give his life for it. That and the life of his Naga. They're gonna want more. DKFO was with the blink just revealed. Wants to use it a second time, but extra slows. Human, nice little dodge on the split earth. There's still a chance, especially with that.
Dire's middle
Oh, I
tower
forgot
is
the
under
name.
attack.
Fortune's End. There we go. I know them outside the game, but I can't remember them inside the game. Not fast enough. But they barely make it up to the high ground. This tier 2 is still forfeit.
Dire's middle tower
It was a
has
good thing they
fallen.
denied that. If they didn't deny the Roche, then that would be easy high ground. But still, they lose the team fight. There's no Naga sleep now. They can still just continue around the map if they really want to.
Yep.
And their next destination is these
Radiant's
2
top
bottom
tower is
towers.
under attack.
If they get these next 2 bottom towers for Team Spirit, that should be Axe Blade Mail. Blade Mail against these heroes is very effective.
Yeah.
If you get on the Drow or the Lina, they should kill themselves.
Oh yeah.
I don't condone suicide, but Deco Phobos 1-800 hotline, you know,
Maybe that's
Real.
what he's saving the call for. Just giving
Yeah,
it to
he
his opponents.
Dire are scanning.
I don't know. I think think the conversation has a capacity to spin for the worse
Whoa, whoa,
to
whoa.
something that we don't want to talk about really.
Nothing wrong with suiciding in Dota, man. Sometimes you always come back to life.
Oh yeah. It's certainly preferable to do it in Dota than anywhere else. I'm pretty sure. So yeah. Weaver getting some extra farm. Like they don't have the Aegis, but they're gonna get all the ultimates, and they still have a very strong teamfight lineup, right? That's what we noticed in the draft, and that's what's gonna help them actually keep the pressure up. Double Dimension have to be very careful about how they engage, even with Song, even with Raw, and this could be a good start. Meanwhile, the call in the back on the Cheshire Cat is gonna tank it as they finish up the Visage. Let's get the Roar off, but Vansko actually propping down his false promise on him, so he doesn't even die for it. This is exactly what they need. He's quick picks when Team Spirit is not quite ready to go. That's oh wow. No Visage, no birds. I guess they have no birds. There's just a random creep taking a very different route than normal. They still smoke up. They still want to go. Still might find something here. Blink across, just barely getting the lean on the edge, but Song of the Siren still available. FNG holding on to the Golem. This could still be a big turnaround here with a nice little Fatal Bombs. There it is, number one. Need more damage though. Luna cannot get anything off though. DK Phobos loading up on the high ground, so it's Beaver's turn. Going in with zone over. There's the call, and there's the kills. 1 and 2. Chalk it up for DK Phobos. Cheshire Cat TPing out with a Shadow Amulet. So that'll be the end of it. Oh man, if Luna doesn't go down there, they all just try to fall over.
Yep. They got pretty lucky they killed the Luna there.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna... I thought everybody on DD was gonna die there. Nice Warlock Golem on like 4 or 5 with the Fatal Bonds. Crazy. And then less damage is also amplified because of all the lightning bouncing around, the Pulse Nova. It's crazy how much synergy the Warlock and Lesh have together.
It's ridiculously powerful. And yeah. So, if you look at Luna, what item do you think she'll go for next? I mean, she has a Blade of Alacrity right now. Just casually. Nothing queued up as, oh, hold on. Visage? He's just dead.
Dead Visage. Seen this story before?
2 birds. There we go. That's one thing that you can't say. Oh god, there it is, those Fatal Bonds. Cheshire Cat gets it purged off. Lena, though, not so lucky. She drops. Now, Blink. No call just yet as he was silenced, but doesn't even need it. Another nuke. Another call, and Kuman is just way too slow. Missing the secondary dunk, so gotta yell at him for that one. But no harm, no foul, I guess, as they continue the chase. They're just way too fast. King R down for the count. Odin gets himself a triple kill. And now, the Creeper's not too far away from Tier 1 tower. They can refocus, finish that one off, and keep the lane push.
Top tower is under attack.
Unless they're worried about Cheshire Cat pushing out mid.
They don't like your ideas.
Yeah.
What do you know?
I know nothing. I just pretend to know. This is my whole shtick. This is what play-by-play casters are. Like, we pretend to know what we're talking about, and we're slightly better than the normal person.
Another Toby? Oh my god. What? Someone say something?
I don't know, I didn't hear it. Maybe someone will clip it and we'll end up on Reddit.
Reddit? Lol.
Who cares about Reddit, am I right? No one reads that shit.
I'd read Reddit, but it'd only be negative stuff.
I would read Reddit, but there's so many words.
Nah, actually, I read Reddit all the time. Reddit's really good because you get to learn a lot of cool stuff, like how to put down people, how to make fun of NA Dota.
Do you need a tutorial for that? In NA Dota, gives you so many openings. That if you can't figure out how to make fun of it, it's pretty sad.
I see. Do you even know what you did there? Get it? Openings, 3 opening spots.
What? Oh yeah, I did.
You don't even get it.
See, this is how easy it is. Like, I can't help but make jokes.
It was very witted, but unfortunately, you didn't have the wit to get it.
Radiant structures are
Alright,
fortified.
Team Spirit, bit of a delay, but they're still making this happen. They have pretty much all their ultimates back ready to go. Luna's coming back in 5, so
Dire's bottom
she's
tower
going for the
is
Manta style. Still a couple of hundred gold away, so no
Dire's
BKB or
bottom
anything
tower
like
has
that.
fallen.
Protect you
Radiant's
from the
top
big
tower
burst
has
after the
fallen.
song, but
Dire's
just
I
relying
think
on
she
the
should
DP's
go.
strength for
I
that.
think this is good. Luna should go Manta into Lincoln's. You just need Manta because it helps with your farming speed, and then it also helps you get out of the silence. And then you get Lincoln for the Beastmaster Roar.
Dire's bottom tower has
Pretty
fallen.
close. Pikachu actually finds the Yield Scepter.
Radiant's middle tower
Not the decent Phobos does get that Blade Mill off though. Very hard kill again. They're trying to focus on somebody else. Illidan in front. Almost stepped down, and that is extra couple of right clicks to do it. But there's the call. They're all fatal bonded, but Oracle getting rid of some of those. So I'm going to sign ultimate to make sure that
Here
Pikachu is
comes
ready
G
to
on
go.
the back lines.
Does a DD rune to work with G in the backlands. There it is. Trying to finish up the draw with the extra drops. Not quite enough damage though here. He does need to throw one more nuke, but that might have been enough. Instead, focusing on Pikachu. Target fire is there, even though it's costing them a lot more than they would like to give up. FNG overused the golem, still punching away. Beaver sitting inside, healing up on Urn, and they do find the lockdown for Naga. Now it's Double Dimension's turn to get the hell out of this situation. The silence, trying to just keep the axe from blinking. This is Vansko's only job right now. Keeping Kuman safe, but he's so done with that instead. He just goes straight on the Oracle. Straight on the source of all of his misery. In this particular chase, at the very least. He'll be happy enough about that, I would imagine. And now, Golem's gonna expire. They also have to lick their wounds just a little bit. Or do they? Bottom lane, Kuman. He is farming. He is very greedy right now, and he will be caught by a blink. And that's done. Not even needed as the dunk comes through. Mistakes were made.
Dire's middle
Oh,
tower is under
More
attack.
bleeding coming out from DD. So now they're gonna have. Let's see if they got any items. Luna did go down first in the beginning of that fight, so her farming speed has slowed down significantly. But she's still number one.
Yeah, it's a crazy
Probably
part.
dying first in the last 2 fights.
That's Luna for you. Especially in a crazy game like this, if you're the only one who has the farming tool. I guess Axe as well, but he's also not far off the Luna because of all of these shenanigans. And yeah, Kuman, he... So far this Draw Ranger, this is exactly the kind of trap that you can fall into very easily when you pick that hero.
Scanning.
If you're behind, you just don't really do anything.
This hero needs. This hero is weird, right? You need to take a lot of map control, and then you also kind of need to farm. So it's weird in the sense where you have to know your timings, you have to play around them, and you have to make sure you do it perfectly, else you're gonna get
Radiant's top
punished. And
tower is under attack.
Draw is 3 and 5 this game, which I would say that's kind of normal for draw games, depending on how the situations go early game. Normally in these situations, but he's been doing a good job. He's been trying to farm, going for this Ags build. He's trying to counter the Visage, knowing that the Visage is going for the Ag Scepter, and he's going to try and deal out a ton of damage, but here they go. Round 2. I've seen this story before.
Straight to road. I think they saw one of the birds, oh no, the catapult, running up top, so they might have an inkling. They will confirm it now with that slowing field for an FNG. This is very easy to figure out what's going on. Yes. Can they get in though? Very hard to actually walk through that here with the Song of the Siren now, incidentally. They have to walk around the river. There's the blink call though. Beautiful interception. Gets 2. Fatal Bounce to 3 with the Golem. This is an absolute disaster. King out does get the song off. But Roshan is down. This time, Aegis in the hands of Villadin. He can die and come right back. Fatal Bounce. Nice little purge action there from Manscore. I'll make sure that they all stay alive for now, but can they make it to the high ground? Team Spirit have been pretty good at chasing and getting a few people down. This time around, and by the looks of it, it will just be that Naga Siren is death scrumming. Bottom lane's being pushed out.
Dire's middle
Draw Ranger
tower
not even a
is
part of
under
that fight, but that will not prevent this high ground push coming in from Team Spirit. With the Edicts level 3, with the Golem still going strong, with the Glaive starting to bounce now. This is a perfect time for Team Spirit to not just get one, but go for the second ranks, because they know. But even if Naga Siren comes back, it's not going to be a song.
Radiant's bottom
Pikachu,
tower is
Yield
under
Scepter.
attack.
No follow-up. Just trying to keep DK Phobos away here. If you group up like this, he might just blink in and do exactly this. Take out the Lina, and as I said, that Oracle ult, too late. Did not help one little bit. DK Phobos, time and time again, he finds the blinks, he finds the calls, saving up all his minutes, I guess, for this moment. And there is another one. It looks so easy here. Rooted up now, so buyback comes in, but they need some damage here. Crewman, he can't actually kill him. Not when he has Blade Mail on. He's way too tanky, especially with the Crimson Guard. Can't even damage him whatsoever as Beastmaster gets locked down. Next on the list, he still has buyback and raw available. But look at the bottom lane, Illidan. Still has Aegis in hand. The Glyph will delay the push for a couple of seconds, but I don't think it'll prevent this bottom set of Rex to go down. The Mega Creeps to come out at 28 minutes for Team Spirit. I will find a stun on Naga Siren. The call on two in the back!
Again.
Disaster strikes again and again and again. Lightning doesn't strike twice. Disaster certainly does. Pikachu uses up an air beaver completely out of mana for the follow-up until he eats 50 million mangoes. That is something. He still dies, but the GG has been called. Double dimension. Let's get outclassed by Team Spirit.
Just overwhelming pushing power. Even though G lost mid so bad, it doesn't seem to matter for most cases. As long as the overall game plan comes together, and this was a first pick axe, basically, you could say, and they didn't counter him at all. They basically let him have free reign in all the team fights. They let him do whatever he wanted. The Lina and the Drow, once they got called, any of them, they just immediately died. They had to use their song to counteract a lot of these act calls, and then normally when that happened, that means that Warlock was able to save his golem for after the song, and then they just completely turn around a lot of the team fights. So it was basically, this game was on X, easy MVP for Phobos here, pretty much setting up everything for his team.
Yeah, I have to agree. This guy was just the linchpin of the lineup right now. Illidan, not so much. I mean, he fed the 2 times that he died. I almost felt like it was more because it was all like him going or being caught in front of the fight and dying. But he still had a huge impact despite that, and DK Phobos took care of the rest. Just yeah, that lineup came together very well, which means that Team Spirit are now sitting at 3-1. So looking good for them to make it to the playoffs. Double dimension, they have to pull it out now in their next couple of games. For now, gonna take a very short break, but we'll be right back with the second to last game here for us. AFK 20 versus Fly to Moon.